Kenyans are asking a question. How is shift of offices that is now creating the push and pull between Mudavadi, Moses Kuria, and Head of Public Service Felix Kosgei part of the wider plan to achieve the bottom-up agenda? It can be seen as political pettiness, but again, in government, or rather in politics, it is the small things that count and bring a lot of attention, because they pile, and in the fullness of time, they draw political interpretation. So in this podcast, I want to take you through what exactly is happening between Mudavadi, the head of public service, and the forces around it, so that I know many people are just arguing, but not from the point of knowledge. So on this podcast, you will have to understand what exactly is at stake. Immediately, William Ruto created the office of Prime Cabinet Secretary, which according to me was just a cabinet secretary with an advanced portfolio. And because cabinet envisioned 22, so William Ruto realized that he needed another extra office, that of that Prime Cabinet Secretary, because he wasn't a member of the cabinet. That office was actually created through Parliament, and it was not still deep enshrined in the Constitution. It was actually created through an executive order. So Mudavadi was given an office in the railway headquarters, Kenya Railway headquarters. And that was, remember, the dusty office. But before they arrived at that decision, he was supposed to occupy the same building, that of the deputy president, with Rigathi Gachagua, and was supposed to actually occupy second floor, or third floor of the same building. But Rigathi declined. And when William Ruto was out of the country to Ethiopia, that was last year, he came back and realized that Rigathi Gachagua had already occupied the office. So Mudavadi was pushed to that railway's office. But remember, it was occupied when it was still very dusty. So I think procurement was done, and through the Ministry of the Public Works, that office is now being renovated, but to the taste and texture, to the taste of Mudavadi. Then fast forward, when the cabinet reshuffle happened, Mudavadi was added a cabinet for portfolio, that of foreign affairs. And foreign affairs, and then Moses Kuria, who was moved from the Ministry of Trade, was given that of another Ministry of, I don't know, tracking government performance or something. So immediately Mudavadi was given that office of, it was added a cabinet portfolio. Could be it was a trap. Then Head of Public Service, 2 days ago, wrote a memo requesting Mudavadi to leave that office, because actually currently Mudavadi is operating at that Harambee House, because the office in the railways is being renovated. So until now, it's almost to the complete. After Mudavadi was given the Foreign Affairs docket, he's being asked to now relocate to the old treasury where the Foreign Affairs office was, the office that was being occupied by Mutua, so that Moses Kuria would actually take the other office, that one in the railways. Remember, first there was, and I want us to look at it this way. Moses Kuria was brought, immediately that office of, his office was at Gigiri. Then was brought to CBD. When he was brought to CBD, again changed, now was being taken to railways. But Mudavadi has declined. And he has said, number one, that no public officer or any public officer that is purporting to be allocating office to the ministers is actually acting outside the law. And according to him, He's sticking to what they agreed with William Ruto, and he's asking William Ruto to intervene. Now I want to tell the son of Mudavadi very clear. Musalia Mudavadi, you're burying your head in the sand by making an assumption that whatever Henry Kosgei is doing, or rather that move he's making, is under his own volition. William Samoei Ruto knows what exactly is happening, and is not from the moon. Even if Ruto is busy, but head of public service, that office operates from State House. That is one of William Ruto's right-hand person. That is a man that speaks William Ruto's language. Apart from being head of public service, he's also William Ruto's political operator. So Musalia Mudavadi must then see what is happening with the political lens. And I want to explain it this way. There have also been other reports, some other reports that had emerged that even Mudavadi had been going through challenges on approvals, especially when he was going out. And one of the reasons I was being pushed there is because he had also gone through those challenges of approvals. And most of his approvals were actually being approved. He's always wanted it to be under the office of the presidency. But most of his approvals are done by the head of public service. So ladies and gentlemen, but Ruto okays. The script is very clear. And I don't know why, I don't just understand why Musalia Mudavadi is acting as if why Musalia Mudavadi is saying he does not want. Why Musalia Mudavadi is not just reading the bigger picture. What is happening here? That prime cabinet secretary is slowly being reduced to a cabinet portfolio. And this is the message being sent. What William Ruto is telling Musalia Mudavadi by this move is remove your head. I want to remove your mind from the thought of a cabinet secretary and look at that position as a foreign affairs docket. I want to believe one of the reasons why Musalia Mudavadi has declined, because of course there is no problem apart from just the taste. You've engaged the contractor, you've told the contractor, this is my best color, this is what I want, this is my best, this is the kind of furniture that I want here, this is the design that I want. Maybe you've done that, then immediately you're done, you're being moved. But there is something going on. William Ruto also know very well that where the office, the old treasury building they're going to occupy, it's an office that's going to be occupied by other ministries are also there. It's not only foreign affairs that is there. There are also other ministries and other offices. But the other side of Musalia Mudavadi is he is alone. So I think what is happening here is William Ruto is simply handling Musalia Mudavadi's docket as a cabinet portfolio. And that is what Musalia Mudavadi needs to see. Then the second observation I'm making here is Mudavadi would want to be answerable to the president. But William Ruto is simply telling Mudavadi that your boss is Felix Kosgei. That is the message. That your boss is Felix Kosgei. And that is why there is that move coming. Of course, that is the right office. But maybe Mudavadi would want a behind the scene talk, an arrangement with the president, because he also believes that after Mudavadi, after Rigathi, Ruto and probably Wetangula, he comes distance fourth, or he's in between Wetangula and Rigathi. But a mere sign that William Ruto decided to send the head of public service, Kupanga Mudavadi, is something that do not sit well with the son of Mdamba. Remember, the son of Mdamba is a man that has been in government for long and can easily interpret what is being written on the wall. Number 3, I think a a trap is being set to create a wedge between Ruto and Mudavadi. Remember, and this could still be a state-managed trap even by William Ruto, because the moment Ruto gave Mudavadi that foreign affairs docket, there were murmurs from Mount Kenya that Rigathi is being disseminated, and Mudavadi's profile is increasing, or rather is advancing at the behest of that of Mudavadi, of that of Rigathi. So this could still be here. You know, there was another, and even recently there was another rift between Ruto and Rigathi. It was there, even though leaders will play one for the gallery, but people who understand politics know things do happen behind the scene. So now, here's a point where we want to see, is Mudavadi going to confront William Ruto and tell William Ruto, I'm not going to do this? But Kabatesi's head of communications in office have said, no, we are not moving from railways. Lastly, let me tell you about the politics of offices. Some of the considerations of some offices when you are put in offices that you share with quite even government ministries, you are normally man-marked and your moves are known. Who are you meeting? Who are your delegation? You know, when you're in that old treasury, you cannot meet Western Caucus there without anyone knowing. But to go for railways, you can easily plan. Or even if you're leaving, you're heading somewhere, you can easily get your way when you're out of town. But if you are in that old treasury building, then everyone else will know whom Mudavadi is meeting, where is Mudavadi, everything Mudavadi is moves can be there. And I think maybe William Ruto wants to track regarding Musalia Mudavadi's moves. On this one, I stand with Musalia. And just on logic, I cannot organize how my office is going to look like. And if William Ruto means well for that office, then that office, that Prime Cabinet Secretary, should not be subjected to reshuffles like those of ministers. Maybe. That's my thought. Thank you.